Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for a purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. For uses of use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now let's start this dang show.
You gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
What is up, everybody? This is the Cage Match. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering, like, what happened to Asylum? You know, I decided to have him off these 2 weeks because I'm trying to get a better draft pick for our show. You know, we're trying to get a higher draft pick for the YouTube podcast draft, and he wasn't too happy about it. But you know what? It is what it is. That's the name of the game that we do now. If I have to tank the show for us to get a higher view rate, higher draft pick, that's what I'm gonna do. And that's I'm the one who calls the shot, so that's how it goes.
Asylum is asyluming.
You know what? That's it. I'm coming in. I want to be traded. I want to be on a different podcast. I'm done with this shit. There's no reason to be benching my ass. And here you go. 2 weeks in a row. I'm done. Trade my ass.
Well, hold on, music, please, again. All right. Well, we got Jeff. Jeff is inside the comments. So, hey, Jeff, you're in the New England area. Max Crosby wants to be in the New England area. Maybe I'll trade you to Asylum for at least 5 of your subscriptions, Kate. Because okay, for reals, welcome to the show, everybody. How you doing, Asylum? You took one. You had to. I'm gonna say you did it on. You had to take 1 week off, and you got to start all over with that.
With that, you know what though? 3 years and what is it? 135 episodes. You know, that's a hell of a run. I might not have reached the goal that was trying to be reached, but you know what? Considering everything else, all the other times, streaming from, other countries and everything, I did everything I could. I just couldn't make this one work. Injury caught me, tweaked it just enough. I just couldn't, quite get in the game.
Yeah, that's right. Last year you were overseas, so basically you were like in the NFL where they're sending all these games overseas, and you still showed up But this one last time you couldn't. But it is what it is. I missed I think like 4 episodes. So, we all have to step away, especially with the way the Raiders are, and every single off season is always some kind of drama or new coach, new this. A certain player is always on the trading block. Kay Adams, it's just a whole bunch of mess, So
always got her nose in Raiders freaking business.
Yeah, we just gotta. We don't get a break. We don't get a break, and I know football season is 365 days of the year, and then on leap years you add another day to it. Whatever. But it's always nice to take a day off, or a week off, or whatever. I don't know. But
honestly, I really didn't even want to. It's just the way it worked out. It is what it is. I was able to make everything else work. This was just one that, I missed the flight, I guess.
See, we should have a segment. Thank you, Anna. Anna, we missed you. It's been a while. We missed you, Anna. The Raiders and the Restless, because of all the drama and all the soap opera that is the Las Vegas Raiders, And of course, we have, which we're all getting tired of, the Maxx Crosby trade fatigue that we've been enduring. It's been getting hotter and stronger. That sounds kind of weird. Let me start over. It's been getting very, very, very smoky. Where there's smoke, there's fire, they say. And well, let's just. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, it seems to be getting a little bit more serious this year, right? I mean, now you're hearing destinations. Just before timelines, article out talking about. Seems like part of the reason Maxx Crosby is not happy happens to be a Tom Brady's health guy, whatever it was, being a spy. And
you would think the spy would be spy tech.
The only thing is that I've heard is one, the Raiders ain't budging off of their want, what they're asking, which I don't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
And two, the one team he wants to go to don't have the financial means to be able to get him. So
it's always the case, but they find ways. But before we get into that, there was also a big trade today, and I want to ask you your opinion on this because when we were talking before the show, you mentioned that this could be something, like foreshadowing. This could be opening up the floodgates for big trades or whatever.
To be honest with you, I don't think Trent McDuffie is worth all of that. I don't even think he's worth a first-round pick. Maybe a second-round pick and, a 6 or something. But, again, people who, big trades like this kind of open the door for other trades to happen, right? Now that one person or one team dumped a big value in there, now other teams will be like, well, it's going to be, I know we didn't want to, but hey, this team had to fork over this much for a person who wasn't at this player's level. I get it's different positions, but it's still, that this might be showing what you're going to have to get or what you're going to have to give up for a starting caliber player of certain, McDuffie started almost every year he was with the Chiefs. By the way, I like this because it hurts the Chiefs. So
yeah,
thank you, Rams.
Yeah.
But stuff like that. I know people are worried about Maxx Crosby being 29. Maxx Crosby's, a couple of injuries in the surgery. But at the same, and the big thing that was being brought up lately is he hasn't had over 12 sacks except for one season. But there's always, he's been doing it by himself. They won't bring up Micah Parsons as that comparison. Micah Parsons had help on that defensive line.
Yeah.
Yes, he's younger, 26, 3 years difference. But he had help. Maxx Crosby's been doing everything he did by himself. Maxx Crosby, I think, is more of a disruptive player than Micah Parsons is. He's in the backfield more often. He has more tackles for loss. He's there, He got his first interception. There's reasons behind, what makes Crosby good, and sacks is not the only number that you need to be looking at.
Yeah.
Quarterback hits, Russian throws, right? I mean, shit like that leads to interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they put him in the same conversation with Myles Garrett. So Myles Garrett has set that bar, that standard for what a defensive end or elite pass rusher, because they keep changing the names, pass rusher, defensive end.
Yeah.
So that's the naysayers are the ones that's like, well, Maxx Crosby's not that good. Look at Myles Garrett and the garbage team, and look what he did. Broke the single season sack record this year, and da. But I mean, like you said, Maxx Crosby's been doing it on his own, and especially the last 2 years, doing it at 50%, 75%, because his injuries are starting to catch up with him not missing so many, not coming out of a game.
He doesn't take plays off. I mean,
yeah,
don't take plays off. He plays like, it's almost like 90% of the snaps. And then when you're doing it all by yourself and you got that mentality of Maxx Crosby, injuries are going to happen. I understand he was upset because he got shut down, but he needed surgery. To me, it seems fitting that he was shut down. Protect the player from himself. We said this on the show plenty of times. Sometimes you have to protect a player from himself. If he don't like it, play out your contract, they go elsewhere.
Yeah, and that's been my thing. You signed the contract last season for guaranteed money. That was the thing you were fighting for, guaranteed money. Okay, well, we guaranteed this money, but now you're not guaranteeing us your services throughout that contract.
Well, again, I don't know. We haven't heard it from Maxx. I think Maxx is playing I think Maxx is dancing across that line a little bit, playing that game, trying to go. But, again, the Raiders are saying they want the Michael Parsons trade. They want 2 first rounds and a player. I don't blame them for asking for that and sticking to those guns. Why should I give up one of my star defensive players for peanuts? Because Maxx Crosby, I think, would be a Jacoby Myers. He may not be happy, but he's going to give it 100% when he's on that field. He is not going to call it in, and I don't see him trying to pull the shit and saying, I'm not going to play this season until you trade me. He's not going to pull a Cleo Mack.
Yeah. Or Devontae, he can't use the I'm hurt now because you got pissed off for the Raiders sitting you because you were hurt. You can't play the I'm hurt until I get traded card, because then that'll be kind of, backwards. Like, wait,
I don't think, let this play out. I know there's a reporter out there that's going to say it's going to be done in the next couple of weeks.
I heard within the week. Hold on, let me show this graphic again, the Maxx Crosby graphic, because everyone is looking at that March 13th date, which will make his next year's salary cap hit. That'll kick in because it's the start of the league year. So I think that's what they're saying. It could be happening. Like if you're gonna do it, just do it now, so he doesn't cost you more towards your cap. If you do it before. So we'll see. But I do want to play this video of Max Facts, and I want to play it because this could be the last time I play it if he is traded by next week. So here is a Max Facts. Do you have it? You got it?
Oh no, I'm on. I can get it though. Hold on.
I mean,
if you no, where the fuck you move? Oh, there it is. I got it. Ready? No.
Yes. Right in the middle, right there.
I see. Okay.
Seeing things on the internet. So are you a Raider for life, or what's happening?
God.
Can you talk about this?
She's trying to go viral. She's trying to get my ass. She's trying to go viral.
I know you said you don't do the clip thing.
You do.
I'm kidding.
See?
No, I'm just Can you talk about it? Can you not talk? No.
You're not kidding. Anyway, I've talked about this too much. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Life is good. I'm blessed. I'm happy.
You're gonna be successful.
Sarah Safari's on my podcast. Life's good. I'm with my best friend. Got my boys with me. I mean, good. Life
Have
is
you
good.
met your new coach?
I have, yeah.
Okay, do you like him? Are you excited?
Seems like a great guy. Absolutely. What do you know? What have you seen?
He came from the O-line at Seattle? Wait, where'd he come from?
Offensive coordinator.
Offensive. That's what I meant, though.
Yeah, you're good.
I mean, he wasn't a player.
I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to be
Wait, was it from Seattle? He came from Seattle?
Seattle,
Yeah. So that's, bro. They just won the Super Bowl. Like, you might be good.
My main thing that has helped me is, and that especially this season, is just, I literally write it in my notes every single day. Tunnel vision. Circle that motherfucker. And it's like keywords that just keep my mind like focused on what I need to focus on, because we just talked about it in the backyard literally right before this. I was telling him, like, all this trade shit's going on. I got all these, my fucking face. I walk in the facility and my fucking face is on the TV and everyone's just looking at me like, and I'm like, hey, what up? You know what I mean? It's weird. For most people, they would be like, you know what I mean? Everybody else is talking about it. I know people are talking about it. I know everyone's saying this. I know that people have their opinions. I can't control that.
Yeah.
My control is right here. All that shit is white noise. Yes, all that matters is putting my fucking hand in the ground and whooping a motherfucker's ass and being the best version of myself. That ultimately, that's all that matters.
And you're pretty fucking good at it. So.
And that's exactly. But if I'm worried about other shit, it takes away from that, because it's taken away from my preparation, so I can, preparation to get ready for the game and in practice and all the little details. If your mind is somewhere else, you're not going to be where your feet are at in the practice field or in the weight room or.
I was on Twitter when I was looking at these stories, and that was one of the things that popped up, and somebody in the comments of that Twitter or of the Twitter post that had that video said, "Man, this is the longest intro to Casting Couch I've ever seen."
She was trying. I'm sure afterwards she tried. I bet you that was a true statement. But he's married. He wouldn't do that.
It was just funny. I was like, oh, if you know, you know.
She was hoping.
Woo. Okay. Anyways.
He was hoping.
So many times throughout this offseason, Maxx Crosby has had many chances to put the rumors away and just, I'm a Raider. I'm under contract. He could have said, hey, I'm a Raider. I'm under contract. That's out of my control. Like when he said, I just focus on here. Everything is out of my control. But yeah, and yeah, maybe he's all like, okay, look, I just want to win now, and I don't want to have Raider Nation hate me because I love Raider Nation, but I got to make a personal, decision on me and my career. I've already had 2 years of injuries where I didn't finish the season after, like we just talked about, never taking a game, never taking a playoff, going into its 8th year. 1 playoff appearance, the 2021 against the Bengals. So, but I don't know. I'm just.
Maybe he's made it clear to the brass that he understands he's in the contract. But he said, "Do what you want to do. If you want to trade me, I ain't gonna be mad. I'm ready to move on. But because sometimes players are fighting. I don't want to be traded. No, fuck no, don't do that. And granted, it's out of their control, like he says. I got no say in this, but maybe he put that bug in their ear. Maybe that's what's happening here. Is he put the bug in there? He didn't come out flat out say, "I want to be traded," but maybe he's putting out what? I'm getting tired of this. I don't want to be here for a rebuild. Or maybe it's his agent. Maybe he hasn't said shit. Maybe this is all his agent talking for him. So, like you said, he doesn't have to look bad in front of Raider Nation.
Or, the one guy that was acting like his agent was that Jay Glazer, that clip where he flat out said,
but he did come out and say he doesn't speak for him. He never said that.
I was there. I saw everything. He was mad. I said, hey, man, kind of like that. You got to just understand that he needs structure. structure.
I was trying to do a Jay Glazer.
I need structure. You gotta like that, need structure.
So, yeah, I mean, and maybe, you know, he is getting tired of everybody speaking for him, but the one person that can speak for him is him himself. So it's kind of like, it's like, I don't want you guys to speak for me unless you're talking about why I'm mad. Like, why, like tell my story, but don't talk about me.
Yeah.
What? And there was this article, and then I'm gonna have the Rich Eisen. I got a clip from Rich Eisen reading out the article, the you know, the highlights of this article from, you know, a notable, you know, I can even play the Raider Hater intro, but it's not, if Max is not backing it up, I'm not gonna play the Raider Hater intro. But you know, Michael Silver has not really been a Raider fan, you know, when he would cover the Bay Area sports back in the day. But he wrote an article. This is about the relationship, the strained relationship between Maxx Crosby and the Raiders, or the Raider brass, or a certain person on the payroll. You know, we'll get to it. But here is Rich Eisen talking about that. This was today's episode, so here we go.
It's recent.
So my buddy Mike Silver of The Athletic wrote quite the story today.
Oh.
That I think is of interest of the Las Vegas listening audience that just joined us here on our ESPN radio circuit. Mike Silver, everyone should seek this one out in The Athletic. It's quite the article, and it is titled, Maxx Crosby is ready to leave Las Vegas. The sooner the Raiders accept that, the better. It sure seems like Maxx Crosby is done with playing for the Raiders. He hasn't said it. I know he gets pissed when everybody's talking on his behalf. And all I keep thinking is, if Maxx Crosby was so pissed about being deactivated in the last 2 weeks of the season last year so the Raiders could tank and get a better draft choice, and that is something that he can't get over, you know, who ordered that code red? Mike Silver says in this article it was John Spytek, the general manager. So that makes sense that Max is still upset because obviously the general manager is still around. The article begins with this, talking about how when Crosby in 2019 was drafted into the league and John Gruden was the coach, Crosby would frequently blow up practices for Gruden on the offensive side of the ball because he just could not take it down from Spinal Tap 11 on every snap. He had to just go, you know what, to the walls. And
balls to the walls,
boys.
boys.
Article here. Habitually, he, Crosby, would blow up Coach John Gruden's offensive script by charging off the edge and batting down passes, sometimes getting dangerously close to the quarterback. At one point, Gruden threatened to cut him if he kept it up. Quoting, said one witness of Crosby, quote, his attitude was, if you don't want me to do it, then block me. And nobody was in position to challenge that. So that's what makes Crosby tick. And he's saying, Mike Silver, that Crosby being told you're not playing is a red line, that it's difficult for him to come back from. Alex Guerrero, who is the, I guess one would say, right-hand man of Tom Brady. His official title in Vegas is wellness coordinator. The article here from Silver refers to Guerrero as, quote-unquote, a staunch Brady ally who regularly attends practices and meetings, purports to possess significant organizational power, informing players of impending transactions, and even indicating to staff members who don't follow his instructions that their jobs may be at risk. And when you have somebody who's there who has a sense of power, or you have a sense that this person has power for somebody who's not there, because obviously Brady has a regular Sunday job on Fox. Quote here, suffices to say that there are trust issues permeating the Raiders training facility in Henderson, Nevada. But I will finish with this. the way this article finishes. And this is the one that got me to go, oh, okay. This is how Silver finishes up his opinion after giving this information as the backdrop. If Spytek and Brady are indeed thinking long-term, they'll sift through the offers for Crosby, find a suitable trade partner, and thank him for his service. If not, well, it's probably going to take more than a red jersey to protect Mendoza once training camp begins.
Wow.
Thanks. But if Maxx Crosby is going to be like, all right, Gruden's going to threaten to cut me, I don't care. I'm not saying he's going to purposely hurt Fernando Mendoza. I don't know if that's what Mike's indicating, but the bottom line is he's going to show the rookie the ropes the way he wants it to be shown. And if he's been wanted to be shown the door instead of him still being there to show someone the ropes, then you might think about showing him the door.
Wow. What do you think about that ending with Mike Silver?
That's reaching. I mean, he should go right for movies and shit. Because Jesus Christ, I mean, Maxx Crosby's not going to do that kind of shit. Is he going to make it tough on it? And then don't you love the idea? Even though everything we've been hearing is if we draft Mendoza, the likelihood of Mendoza starting is very low. But Rich Eisen is talking as if Mendoza's the guy. He's starting right away. I mean, does he have the NFL script before everybody else?
Well, he's saying that's what Mike Silver said, which I would say then, if that is what Maxx Crosby is going to do, he said that Mike Silver wrote that in his article. He closed out the article with that. But then that means that I want Geno Smith to stay on the team so Maxx Crosby can take him out in practice. And then we can go and put Geno Smith on IR and then trade Maxx Crosby. And then we don't have to deal with talking about either one of them because, he's still on contract. Both of them are still on contract. Two birds with one stone.
I mean,
Aiden O'Connell, Team Ramrod, and then Fernando Mendoza. Let's go. That's how I write the end of my script.
That way. What was the story? He was batting down practices or batting down balls during practice and getting close to the quarterback. Not that he was hitting the quarterback or hitting a running back. He was just not letting the offense win like Gruden was wanting him to do.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to add things to the story to make it fit the narrative. Gee, am I watching politics or am I watching football? Because it's really starting to sound like, we're just going to make shit up. And then the people who fucking believe this shit, I mean, come on. It's Maxx Crosby, the impression I got from what Maxx Crosby said, right? He's got tunnel vision. He wants to put his hand in the dirt and go at 110%. Will he do that for the Raiders? Well, we'll find out. Plain and simple. I don't think he's going to pull a Khalil Mack. I think if the Raiders don't trade him, he'll do it for the Raiders. And then maybe if things go, like the answer Ed's question here, do we think we could double our wins from last year to 6? It all depends on what we do on the offensive line. It depends what we do here in the offseason and in the draft. I think that's a reasonable goal. I don't see why, if we do things right, we cannot double our wins. Maybe if Max is seeing, maybe Max is gone at the end of his, what's he got, 3 more years on his contract?
I think 2 with an option. So, 3, but that last one is an option. Where'd it go?
I don't remember Crosby having an option.
He'll be a free agent after 2029. So,
so that's 4 years. He's got this year, next year, the year after, and going. By that time, if we force him to play out his contract, and he doesn't pull a diva move, which can happen, not saying he won't, but I just find it hard to believe. I don't think that's in his nature. By that time, he may not want to leave. we could have fixed everything and we could be fucking contenders again. Or we could be circling the drain like we've done for 20 years. And he says, just get me the fuck out of here.
But he's gonna be 29 this year.
You know, or
by that time, he'll be early 30s.
Second year, he might just come out and say, hey, I want to trade, and make it well known. I'm getting tired of talking about this shit, honestly.
I know.
Because it's been this way for the last 3 years. And where has he played during all these other times? Until I hear a trade is done, he's a Raider, and I expect him to play a Raider as a Raider. I don't expect him to half-ass anything. The fact that he's pissed off because he got benched or whatever, you know what? So fucking be it. Because that's the kind of attitude that goes other places. People want it until they have it. And then next thing you know, he's bouncing from team to team to team to team to team and not making no money and not playing on teams that are necessarily contenders because you could be good, but nobody wants that drama and it starts becoming a cancer. So Max needs to, sit here and go. You could become the best. But if you start being a distraction to a team, you start being certain ways, teams start looking the other direction. And I know it was said, and yes, I've heard it's the Bears and the Cowboys right now. Right now, the Cowboys are the only one that have the money to be able to do it. And the Bears, who apparently what some experts are saying, the Bears is the team he wants to go to. Which, hey, is it a quickie dink? You're hearing that. And he just had Caleb Williams on his show.
I know. Right before this episode I played.
All this shit. Who knows? It could be there. The Bears need to figure out what they're going to fucking do if they want them. And I agree with the whole statement there. At least thumb through the fucking offers that are coming out.
Yeah.
You might get blown away. Every team has a price that they would sell their best player for. Do not get me wrong. If somebody offered the fucking farm for 2 years, they would trade that player in a heartbeat. I don't care who it is.
Well, later in the episode,
I'll say it like this because I know there's other teams, a team that plays around me. For the right offer, even the Chiefs would trade Patrick Mahomes for the right price.
To dump that contract. Well, later in the episode, Rich Eisen had Albert Breer, who has been one that kind of started in the last week of I can see him getting traded. Could, okay? You gotta understand like the key words that they use. Could, maybe, they should. These are not definite words. These are, I'm throwing it out there, and if it sticks, I said it first. If it doesn't stick, I said could. I said maybe. That's like when you're a kid and you ask, hey, can we go and get some ice cream? Yeah, maybe we'll see. I didn't say yes or no, but I know it's going to be no. Yeah, but I didn't say yes or no. But I know it's going to be no. Because you didn't want to say no, but you just said maybe we'll see. I already know what that means, but I didn't say that. Okay, things happened and it didn't happen. No, you weren't going to do it. Don't lie to me. I wanted my ice cream. Anyways, Albert Breer was on Rich Eisen. So this is right after he did the art. He read the article out. So let's hear. Basically, he's saying Maxx Crosby's side. I mean, we've heard it many times before, but let's just whatever.
Yeah. Put it all together. What's the reporting on Maxx Crosby as we sit here right now?
To understand this, you've got to go all the way back to the very beginning, and that was him injuring his knee back in October. At that point, he knew, the team knew that he was going to eventually have to have surgery. So, he was under enough pain in December that they decided to go back in and have scans a couple days before Christmas. At that point, after the scans came back, they made the decision they were going to shut him down. He didn't like that. He went and sought a couple of outside opinions on the knee, and those doctors outside the organization told him wasn't perfect, but like he'd be okay to play out the last couple of weeks of the season. And it was communicated to him that wasn't going to happen. And the communication issue there, I think as much as anything else, was more of a Tom Brady, Alex Guerrero thing. So that's where the disconnects come with Crosby. I do know there's a feeling that this is an important week, and it has been an important week all along, for the simple reason that, we get to Monday, free agency starts, and now teams are starting to fill out their rosters, cap and cash budgets are being spent. And so, the teams that are pursuing Crosby would like some clarity. And, for the Raiders, this is, I guess on paper, at least the largest group of suitors they're going to have.
It's a third rail subject, talk about Alex Guerrero and Tom Brady. It just is. It always has been. That said, are you saying Crosby was informed by that duo about being sat in a way that pissed him off, that he can't come back from that red line?
Yeah.
Is that?
I mean, I think his perception was, right or wrong, I think his perception was that what was communicated to him was he's being sat down so the Raiders could pursue the first overall pick.
I mean, that's as tale as old as time, though, right? I mean, like that
right.
can't.
And look, like I think you have to understand the psychology of Maxx here too. The psychology of Maxx, like obviously he's a great player. He's accomplished a lot. He's self-made. A former 4th-round pick who's risen to the highest level at his position, and he's only played in one playoff game. And so, if you haven't had the chance to have team success over a 7-year career, what are your points of pride? Well, it's all pros, it's Pro Bowls, it's being able to say that you were there every week for your teammates and you answered the bell for them. And that's stuff that I think Maxx Crosby takes a ton of pride in. So, like the idea of that being taken away from you, you can understand where it would cut you differently. And if you had a great level of loyalty to an organization and to ownership, he's very close with Mark Davis, then the organization taking something like that away from you at the end of the season would naturally chip away at your loyalty to the organization. So I think that's sort of, how all of this turned into what it's turned into, and it's something I've talked about the last few weeks, but, I think that communication issue between at that level of the organization and, the Brady Guerrero level of the organization, that was, problematic for Maxx at the time, and we'll see where it goes from here. But I can tell you this, like people in that organization love the player. I think there's also a recognition of where they are, and some thought, I'm sure, I don't know this definitively, but I'm sure there's some thought like we're going to bring a rookie quarterback in here, and Fernando Mendoza in all likelihood. And, this might take 2 years, 3 years, and do our timelines match up with Maxx Crosby? I think those are all fair questions to ask.
So let's look at it from the player's perspective. I know you've been at jobs that you couldn't stand, out of your control with management, or you got that one team leader, or that brand new manager that comes into your work group, your work group, and wants to act all big and bad. I know I've had many. It's probably why I keep striking out in these interviews. They ask me questions like, have you ever had disputes with managers or employees? And I'm like, that's a very personal question. Yes, I have. And I'm all like, if you really want to know, I had 18 years in my last job. And, sometimes you're going to get a little angry. Sometimes you're going to get a little argument, a little dispute. Now, I didn't say the methods and the things that I used to do to express my anger. I didn't say I used to throw scanner guns or punch the side of trucks or get in the face and get all angry and whatever. And then they're like, okay, never mind. We understand. We love the passion, Sal. Which is wrong. Anyways, but so think of it, Maxx Crosby's point of view, Kay. I've been here for 7 years. I've never taken a playoff. Yes, I've had injuries the last couple, the previous year, and yes, I had an injury throughout this year, but I can manage the pain. I'm a warrior. Okay, this is what I do, and I got to be out there for my team because even though we only have 3 wins, I want to be out there and show my team that regardless if we have 3 wins or 13 wins, I'm going to be the leader, the captain, the man that leads my soldiers to war out there in the field. And you're taking that right away from me. Who is this guy, Alex Guerrero? Who are you, a wellness coordinator? That's not even a thing. Wellness coordinator, wellness. I'll show you what I'm going to coordinate. All right? So, I guess when you put it that way, I understand. You came into my house. It's like that scene from 300. You come into my kingdom with the heads of kings and threaten me with earth and water. And then he kicks him down a hole. Sparta!
I mean, honestly, it feels like this shit's getting, the team's going to listen to their doctor. Plain and simple. Right? Sounds like the team was listening to their doctor. Maxx Crosby went and paid some doctors to say he was okay to play.
Yeah.
Trying to come back and say, hey, I'm good to play. Which, yes, he could have been okay to play and might not have done a ton more damage. But at 75%, a wrong block and a knee already fucked up and a career-ending injury happens, who's he going to blame then?
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to blame himself? Oh, that was all on me. The team don't do this. It's not on the team. You know what? They shouldn't have to pay me. No. He's going to be pissed off because his career is fucking over or his next season is over. He ended up with an Achilles injury that puts him out all of next year because he couldn't put weight down right, and the way he got hit, we watched the guy tear his Achilles crossing the damn sideline in the Super Bowl.
Green law.
This is the thing. Is Brady pissed off? Is Crosby pissed off because he got sat down for the last 2 seasons or the 2 games of the season? Is he pissed off because Brady's, strengthening coach is basically a little snitch and running around and doing all this shit?
Wellness coordinator.
Or is he pissed off because he actually played for a team that tanked to get the number 1 position?
Yeah.
To me, that last one is more reasonable and understanding for Crosby. That's what he's more pissed off about. Because that's not in Crosby's nature. I think he could understand the injury situation.
Yeah.
I think he could even, and the wellness coordinator trying to throw his dick around like he's fucking somebody because he came in with Tom Brady. I could see that irritating somebody, right? Being that going, and then just a team that's willing to do that. The Raiders had never been that way. Look at the year before that. How many fans were pissed off that the Raiders didn't do that? We won nothing but meaningless games. They didn't mean shit. This is what happens when you don't win games. When you give up and do this shit, it affects the players. I said that when people were talking about it last year. I said it this time. Going, there is recourse. Not recourse, but there is ramifications to just losing to fucking lose.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm getting to the point. If Crosby wants out, fucking say it. Get him out.
Jason Downs says Raiders should hire you with 2 S's as an emotional therapy coordinator.
Fuck, I'll take that money. I'll do it.
I can see Asylum as in Bar Rescue. He's going to be the John Taffer. Listen here, everybody. What you're doing is not how you're supposed to be running this organization. Shut it down. Shut it down. I'll see you guys 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. I love that show.
But I mean, it's just one of those things. You know, we've talked about protecting a player from himself.
Yeah.
You know, we watched a coach sit there and put in a player who was not playing well hurt, and everyone's wondering why is he putting him in there. We know Gino didn't want to go in the game. And I'll call bullshit. I'll call fucking Pete Carroll a goddamn liar to his face. Anytime he says, oh no, he wanted to go in. I couldn't have kept him out that game if we tried. Bullshit. You put him in there so you can go stand on that fucking podium. You know, and then that's also the kind of shit maybe Maxx Crosby's seeing and being pissed off about. Gino was hurt. He could barely throw a fucking ball, but yet you put him in there. But you want to sit me down? Yeah, you protect your best players. And you have to protect them from themselves. Plain and simple. And sometimes they're not going to be happy about it. You know? But I think that there is what crossed the line for Maxx Crosby to all of a sudden be done with shit. No. Is firing yet another coach, starting over, hearing the word. What was that word again that nobody wanted to say that they're saying now?
Rebuild.
Hearing that word at this point in his career, is that the kind of shit that maybe he's getting tired of? I just think everyone is going off. Was he pissed off when he was told, you know, that he was not going to play the final 2 games? Yes. Did he storm out? I'm sure Probably. He did. Because, you know, he tried saying something and they probably said, we don't want to hear it. This is what's happening. And that's that. So he left angrily. Did he come back? Yes. You know, I don't think this, I think people are just trying to tie shit together as best as they could and putting shit around and not looking at the other factors of what could be that could have put Maxx Crosby over the edge. Oh, you know, that straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was the fucking benching for the last 2 games. Yes, he was angry. Yes, you know, other factors. I'm not going to fucking say, you know, that's not there. But the fact that you want to turn around and try to say it was because he got sat down, what happens when the next coach does it? You think they're really going to fucking sit there and, you know, now they're afraid to fucking bench him? Right? Or even Kubiak, he's going to be afraid to bench him because I can't piss off Maxx Crosby. Who runs the team? Is it the players?
Well, and going what you just said right now, I mean, if you look back just in the last couple of years, just the last couple of years, okay, Bisaccia doesn't get retained after that playoff year, and then the Raiders go with McDaniels, which we all knew that wasn't going to work out. Okay, so then the Raiders fire Josh McDaniels middle of the second season, but they promote Antonio Pierce, and Antonio Pierce turns the culture around for that 1 year, for those 9 games, and Maxx Crosby saw, okay, look what we almost did, almost got to the playoffs, and then he had the first the first, I don't want to call it an outburst or whatever, but you know when he said in the locker room, if they don't get Pierce the head coaching job, I might have to make some decisions. He didn't say I want to get traded, which people kept trying to twist around or interpret that way. He just said I'm gonna have to make some personal decisions. But okay, that was a open threat. That you could call it an open threat. So the Raiders hire Antonio Pierce. Didn't work out the next year. We all know that, which is the reason why we hired Pete Carroll. Now asking Maxx Crosby, oh well, Maxx Crosby, he wants to get traded to that. No, I just want guaranteed money. That's what I want to do. Because NFL, if you get hurt, you don't have guaranteed money, you don't get paid. Okay, makes sense. But when they asked him, how do you feel about Antonio Pierce getting fired? I don't want to talk about it because the last time I advocated for somebody, it didn't work out. Raiders also gave him an extra $6,000. I'm going to start at $6 million just because. Okay. So they get Pete Carroll. All right. It doesn't work out. And we all saw it going like week 4 or 5. We kind of clearly saw that this is gonna tank. This is gonna tank. Not because they want to, but because everyone's on different pages. So I can understand if Maxx Crosby was irritated with that. But we all would have thought like, okay, well, Maxx Crosby, because you had to sat down here before. AP told you got to protect the player from the player, like you said. That was said then. He sat out the last 4 games because of his knee or his ankle, his high ankle, and then comes back this offseason after taking the 2 games off or being forced to sit down. And you can clearly see like the Raiders saw an opportunity. Well, hey, look, we are last or in the league, or if you think about it, first in the league when it comes to getting that overall pick. We're trying to make a business decision for ourselves, the organization, to try to get this team going. We missed out on quarterbacks the last 2 years, so this is our opportunity to get one. So we're going to do it. Hey, we're going to sit you. Or, like you said, well, how come you're going to keep Geno Smith out there? Did you not hear what we said? We're trying to get the number 1 quarterback in the league. And when you got a guy out there doing this, he's our best shot of doing that. So just stick with the program and trust us. We're trying to build this the right way. The bad word of rebuild was finally said because no one ever wanted to say it. We're reloading. We're retooling.
Damn.
We're whatever. Rebuilding is a bad word. And I'm 7 years in. 2 seasons of injuries that's significant enough for take me out of games. Maybe he's seeing his NFL mortality, but I mean, he does have outside interests after the NFL. He does have aspirations of fighting in the UFC. I don't know, Asylum. I'm kind of going towards the fence, towards whatever. Of if you want to go because yes, you work hard. You have to right now because you had a rehab, but I just feel like he's becoming that celebrity now. Podcasts, UFC, you already have your next venture lined up. Rapping, you already have your next venture lined up. No hard feelings. I don't, it is what it is. Sometimes it doesn't work out. And you're loyal, but I'm getting tired of every season, every off season. Kay Adams shows up and hey, Maxx Crosby, I want to be your wellness coordinator. I want to make sure you're happy. So I'm if it happens, it happens. I'm ready. It is what it is. I'm ready.
So. Well, I mean, that's where I'm at. It is what it is. I don't want to see it happen. I'll put that out there. It is not what I want to happen. I want to keep Maxx Crosby there. I want him to be a part, of this turnaround whenever it happens, and all this. But at the same time, it's getting old. It's getting, I'm getting tired of hearing this shit. And all this does is start fueling him for when the time comes of, it was the same shit with Khalil Mack. It was the same shit with Khalil Mack.
I was ready for Khalil Mack. I like I said, the only 52 that got traded away from an Oakland team that I was like, what? Was Cespedes for the A's. Khalil Mack, he didn't want to play. He was in a holdout. And
he was going to hold out. Hey. And then all of a sudden gets a coach and said, I don't want to play for this coach. I want to be traded.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it's a business. I get it. So, Max, do what you feel is right for you. Once a Raider, always a Raider. You'll always fall into that, category there. I wouldn't be mad if you turn around and said, I don't want to be a part of a rebuild. That's going to take too long. I've got to go out. He wants championships. We all know he wants rings. Not the paydays, because we've been giving him paydays. He wants the rings. And I don't blame him. That's what you dream about as a kid, right? Is going to win those championships. He wants to stack rings. He's not going to be a Brady and be able to get fucking 2 hands full. He got enough time in his career anymore. But he wants to stack up as many as he can. And I can't blame a guy who is striving to be the best doing on a team that's rebuilding when he could go to a team, I won't blame him. I won't be mad. I'm just tired of hearing this shit. Let's move it on and go be a distraction for another team.
You know what's crazy? And you probably won't like this comparison because it's about your favorite all-time Raider, but this is almost kind of like Alzado when he was with the Broncos, but he got to the Super Bowl he got to the Super Bowl and lost to the Cowboys. But then he goes to Cleveland. No, actually, he does the fight against Muhammad Ali. The Broncos said, "Hey, that's a liability to the contract. We're going to have to move you or let you go, whatever." Goes to the Browns, plays for like 2 years, loses to the Raiders again. Well, not again, but loses to the Raiders in that 1980 game, in the snow when the Raiders eventually won the Super Bowl. And then he ends up on the Raiders, and in his second year, wins the Super Bowl 1983. Finally wins the championship, and retires a couple years later. Tries to come back at 45. Well, whatever. But I don't know. But I don't think. I mean, he went into acting, Alzado, but he didn't. That was after he played. I don't know. I'm just whatever. But if we are trading or if we are choosing a quarterback over a rookie quarterback in Fernando Mendoza over Maxx Crosby, who's 4th rounder who made a name for himself and everything. That means that Fernando Mendoza, when he comes in, he has to be that leader. He has to be that guy that gets his team fired up. I have a simulation of what that would look like right here.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
You can do it.
That'll be your quarterback, Mendoza, having to take the Maxx Crosby role. All right, hold on. I wanted to address this. What is up, Raider Twan? I apologize. I didn't get a chance to text you back. When you text me, the whole house was sick. I was one of them.
Jeff.
Trying to fight a flu. So I will text you back later because I do want to jump on the show. But I was dealing with the flu. So was Max actually a leader? Asylum, I'll let you answer that one. And then we will move on.
In the locker room, yes, he was a leader. There's been on the sidelines, he was a leader. You saw it. he would get, simple answer, yes. Crosby at one point with the Raiders was a leader that the Raiders were needing with things going on.
And Jeff said, I told you that Jeff is all like, I would trade.
Tell Jeff what I've been saying.
And Asylum has said, I will trade down. I have not been.
I would trade down and draft offensive line first. Don't take Mendoza and look at the quarterbacks next year. Start O'Connell. See what you got. If it's as bad as everyone says, we will have a high enough draft pick next year to be able to get a better quarterback than Mendoza. I haven't been blown away by Mendoza. I don't see the big hype about Mendoza. But that's just my humble opinion.
Mm-hmm. And if Max is traded?
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
I think we are all ready. Not like just go. We're ready for you to leave. Just like if you want to do it, just do it. We're tired of hearing it.
If it's what you want, then just say it and we'll get it done. Stop playing these games.
So, we were supposed to have Demon King come on, but he had an emergency. We're going to continue talking free agency. Demon King will be back though, because we do need his expertise.
I disagree with you on that one, Ed. I'll disagree with you there. Once a Raider, always a Raider will apply to Maxx Crosby. Until we're playing the team he's playing for, and then he's not a Raider until we're done playing him.
Edward is part of the senior committee. He tells you who's a Raider or not, okay? He tells you, Asylum, who's a Raider or not. No, I'm just what's up, Ed? Okay, let's continue on. But no,
it doesn't apply for Mac. And the only reason it doesn't apply for Mac is Mac did not want to fucking play for the team. He gave up on the team.
Only 4 years. Actually, only 3 years. No, only
4 years, I think.
4 years. Yeah,
because he was coming up to contract negotiations, and shit.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna get Demon King on when we talk draft, because that's where we really need his expertise the most. Because
his expertise
the most, because he does know the college game. That's why we have him. He's our resident GM. But let me show this though. He did have his target players that he would want. Or he would want the Raiders to target. I said it backwards. You know what I mean? He had the players that he wanted the Raiders to target, and here are the players that he wanted to target. I have included on there the spot track. They're what they estimate the market will be for these players, and the last and their previous AAV is annual basically the money value. Okay. You know what I'm trying to say,
basically what they're worth.
I had it, and I called him for being traded last year, but we didn't last year. This year, hey, and you know what? Don't wait. If you're gonna do it now. Get the most value now, and if you're gonna get it for picks, at least you'll know what picks you're gonna get this year. And don't be like Jerry Jones, Micah. I'm gonna trade you after we didn't even do the draft. I don't even know where.
Are you think it's gonna be a day of the draft kind of situation?
Day of the draft? No, well, I don't know. Because if you're going to trade Maxx Crosby, and the only cap hit you're gonna take before March 13th would be the $5.1 million, then I would just do it now. Stop playing. I know we gotta wait. We're not going to just, because the other teams are probably like, we'll just wait to see what they do and see if they're going to hold them. Then the Raiders will take that cap hit, and then we'll come in and be like, okay, You're gonna pay for his first year, then we're gonna go, okay, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. Which could be what the stalemate is, or what the standoff or whatever it is that they're playing poker, okay, what do you got? Okay, all right, what do you got? Oh, I don't know. And they're just waiting for the river to turn. So, anyways. Let's go to the free agency. All right, Asylum.
Free agency.
We do have free agency.
We're shifting gears.
Shifting gears. Like learning how to do stick, trying to go from first to second. Okay.
No, if you grind it. Can't find it, grind it.
Alrighty. Okay. So Demon King's list that he had here: Devin Lloyd, his linebackers: Devin Lloyd, Devin Bush, Christian Harris, Quay Walker, and Nakobe Dean. That's a position that we have to take, that we have to look for or consider, because we also have our own free agents. And I keep saying over and over again that this Raiders team is, for the most part, stripped down to its core young guys, because a lot of the starters and a lot of the veterans that they have are only on 1-year deals, prove-it deals. And with Pete Carroll bringing these guys in, Pete Carroll's no longer, I almost said no longer with us, he's old, is no longer the coach of the team. A lot of these guys will probably not get picked up. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago, Simon, but let's just kind of do a review. Out of the defensive guys that you see here who will become free agents next week, out of this list on the defensive side, who are guys that you want to keep, that we can, build off of, or, in the future, whatever, for the season?
Only one player?
No, doesn't have to be only one. Like, what players on here do you like that you want the Raiders to try to?
I mean, for me, it's Snowden, Booker, Eric Stokes, and Jamal Adams.
I like Booker. I like Booker when he came, when he got traded from the Eagles, and he came right in to play that Seahawk preseason game, the one I was at last year. Only 2 games, 2 days in, he said, "No, give me a jersey. I want to play." He was out there wearing 47. Out there wearing, I thought it was, am I forgetting his name? Wheatley. I thought it was Wheatley out there playing D tackle. So, hey, it wasn't Wheatley. But Thomas Booker, for the opportunities that he got, showed a lot of promise. He hustled on that defensive line. I wouldn't mind the Raiders trying to re-sign him, bring him back maybe for like a year, year or two, like they did with Palomar. Give him a 1 year, and then if they like him, then do the multiple whatever. So and then I do like Snowden, but I'm gonna put that as a maybe when we look at the other defensive ends that will be free agents around the league. But yes, Eric Stokes, get that cornerback back. And I will agree with you, Jamal Adams. I like Jamal Adams for being in that situational linebacker. Yeah, that third down.
It wasn't situational. That was his first time playing linebacker.
Yeah, from safety. Yeah.
And I think he did a hell of a job. But yeah, out of that list, fucking, I told you Malcolm Kuntz was going to be a waste of fucking. We should have kept that other guy. God damn it! Why can't I think of his name all of a sudden?
Clavon Chason.
Yeah, Clavon Chason, who, from what I hear, is yet a free agent this year.
Exactly. You foreshadowed what I was just going to say. Stop looking at the script, okay? Dag nabbit. Looking at the offense of the Raiders, free agents. I mean, you got you got nobody, okay? I don't know. This also is the special teams. I would keep Daniel Carlson. I like, Daniel Carlson. If it was just last year was one of those years where everyone was just all over the place. And last year was really the first time you seen. Where's Waldo? Last time you seen. I mean, it was really the only time you seen Daniel Carlson in the Raider uniform not look that good out there.
Yes.
Fernando, you should have said No, well, never mind. Yeah, Fernando Mania. I was going to say Mendoza. What was it? Yeah, Minshew Mania. No. Don't put the Mania in the kid because Minshew Mania did not work out well. It did not work out well. He was out there running scared. But yeah, I would keep out of special team. Re-sign Daniel Carlson. He's been our solid kicker for a while since he's been a Raider. I'm not going to put last year's misfortunes, even though we could have beat the Bears. He missed that field goal, but I'm not going to put that on him. The whole season was just a mess, and then they ended up first person they fired was special teams coordinator, even though that was a scapegoat move. But out of the rest of the offense, Asylum, who on here is worth bringing back?
I mean, come on, that's an easy one. Parham.
Parham.
No, actually, it is an easy one. I bring back Ian Thomas. He filled in pretty well. Filled in pretty well when we had tight ends with injuries, and everything else. It's Carlson and Ian Thomas. Maybe Meredith for depth, kind of a situation for depth only, not as center, but as a guard for depth only. But to me, hands down, easy, diagonal for the win. It's Daniel Carlson and Ian Thomas.
So I'm gonna go with Kenny Pickett, Zamir White, Stone Force. I'm joking. No, I will. Yes, I like Ian Thomas for when he had to come in when both tight ends were hurt, and he was making plays. But you know what? I'm also gonna give you Alex Bachman. I liked Alex Bachman in preseason. He was kind of like that. He's that big receiver.
But as a returner, I like Bachman.
Oh yeah. Hey, you make him like a third down receiver, like a possession receiver, that big body that can go up the middle and get, I know we have the rookie, or he's not a rookie. He won't be a rookie next year. He'll be in the second year. I know we have him. Jack Besh.
I think you get Ian Thomas, an 8-year vet with two guys there. If he wanted to stay, I bet you could get him pretty damn cheap. Look, he's 29 years old already. Tight end, he's getting to that mark where he knows he's not going to have many opportunities. I bet you get Ian Thomas for cheap.
We don't need to draft tight end. We got two, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, but I will agree with Ian Thomas. But I am advocating for Alex Bachman. Telling you, he was a tough receiver, but in a Pete Carroll world, unless you're his favorite, no one is safe. I don't care what you did, JPJ.
There's only one of those.
You're not going to play center. You're not going to do it, all right? You're not going to do it. So looking at that now, okay, let's just say, because 99% sure the Raiders are going to get Fernando Mendoza in the first round because they said throughout the combine.
Assuming
they
don't trade away the first overall pick.
We are assuming that the Raiders will get him, because the story was that when the Raiders would interview the Indiana players at the combine, it's like, remember when you're in high school and you had that crush on that girl, and you're like, hey, you go to her friends first. Hey, so-and-so, does so-and-so say anything about me in class? Does she think I'm funny? Does she think I'm awesome? And they're like, no. Okay, well, never mind then. Don't say nothing. But so let's just say, hypothetically speaking, the Raiders are going to draft
hypodermically.
The Raiders are going to draft Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana with the first overall pick. Okay. The Jets are on the clock. But so with that said, is there anybody now? I didn't put the tag on there, but I should have put that on there too. Because we do have probably because I didn't even upload it yet. We do have some guys who are on the who were tagged. And I am just trying to find it real quick because I thought I had it up
Aaron
here.
Rodgers is a free agent. He's deciding if he's coming back to the Steelers or not.
He's still considered a free agent though. He's just
more than a 1-year contract.
I don't know. You act like I made these graphics. Hold on. Let me, because I didn't upload it. Hold on, but you do have.
I'm just stating. I thought he signed more than a 1-year contract. They're waiting to see if he retires or not.
Well, I think it was more so to see if he was going to not retire, and then if he was going to play another year, that's when they were going to go and try to sign him to another 1-year deal because
you can be right on that. You can be right on that.
They are getting they have McCarthy, and McCarthy worked with him in Green Bay. So I don't know if that's what the Steelers said. Well, hey, let's get McCarthy to make him Rodgers be, come for one more year, and then we can draft the quarterback, Ty Simpson, I don't know. And he can sit behind him for that 1 year and go from there. So I'm going to do this first, okay? The transition, Daniel Jones is a transition transition tag, which is not like the franchise
franchise tag.
So what is a transition tag?
And for what I understand, it's $6 million less in this particular case than the franchise tag. But transition tag is he could talk to other teams. Another team can offer him a deal, but the Colts have first choice to match said deal and keep him, or let him walk.
Do they? Because I read about it, but I forgot. Does the Colts get any kind of compensation if they can't match the offer that the other team?
I don't remember. I think so because he's still left.
Yeah, I know there was one of them that was you don't get a compensation.
I think they still get. Yeah, I think they do.
Well, you got Daniel Jones transition coming off the Achilles injury late in the season. He won't. I mean, he shouldn't be available at the start of the season because of the recovery time of an Achilles. George Pickens has been offered the tag. He hasn't signed it yet. The franchise tag for the Cowboys. So he is coming at the Cowboys, huh?
We knew that one was coming.
Yeah, well, there was other players that people thought, they're gonna, and they weren't. Only four guys were tagged this year. Kyle Pitts, the tight end for the Falcons, that was gonna be a number one tight end. Yeah, and then Breece Hall, which I thought Breece Hall was on the trade block for the Jets last year.
At one point,
now he's tagged. So
now all of a sudden he played well enough.
We're trying to build a team now, okay, guys? So his Madden scores were great. We got to keep him on the Jets. Looking at these quarterbacks, Asylum. Out of this selection, are there any of these guys that you would bring in? And there's going to be more. Tua is going to get let go.
Kyler Murray.
Kyle Murray is been notified today that he will be let go. So add those to the list of guys.
Watch football if the Raiders get Kyler Murray.
Are there any of these veterans on here? In Trey Lance, I mean, he's been in the league for a couple of years, but I wouldn't really consider him a veteran. Joe Flacco is like a super senior. He's like an ultimate veteran.
No, Aaron Rodgers. Even though it's funny, 21 years of experience, 18, and they're only a year apart in age.
I know. But out of these guys, who would you want the Raiders? Well, I'm going to say one. Who would you be happy if the Raiders get one of these guys to either start? Because you really don't want to have your rookie quarterback starting unless he just goes all out like Derek Carr did, like Aiden O'Connell did before they went and activated Jimmy G. McDummy. But out of all these players, these quarterbacks, who would you like? Or wouldn't
Not
mind?
a fan of any of them for a starter, but there's only one name on there I would even consider, and I believe he's already worked with our head coach.
Russell Wilson, let's go. I'm just joking.
Not Russell Wilson.
Not Russell Wilson. You're talking about Kirk Cousins.
Aaron
right
Rodgers.
there.
Stop it, kidding. It'd be Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. The time he worked with him in Minnesota.
Yeah, see, I
2021.
could be right. Look at Kirk Cousins.
4,221 passing yards. He was 33 touchdowns to 7 interceptions with a passer rating of 103.1. I know he's older and he didn't do well in the Falcon system. And then Penix, because they drafted Penix on that early, the Falcons did after they just acquired Kirk Cousins. Was it on that trade? Oh no, yeah, on that. No, yeah, the trade, yeah. So, Kirk Cousins as your veteran quarterback who worked with Kubiak, who can teach the type of
Kirk
offense.
Cousins to back up Aiden O'Connell while Mendoza learns.
I know I saw, I think it was John Leon said no to AOC. Unless you're talking about the politician, then but for Air O'Connell, over here we are Team Ramrod.
Team Ramrod.
So I would like to see him get his shot. Don't waste your money on a quarterback. Just get if you're gonna draft Fernando Mendoza, draft him and have Aiden O'Connell just play out the last year of his rookie contract and see what happens. I mean, that's almost like the Sam Darnold story. Sam Darnold, he was a free agent coming in to the Vikings, or he was.
Hey, I said no to Sam Darnold because we had O'Connell, and yet look what he did. Look what Kubiak did with Sam Darnold in Seattle.
Well, yeah, well, no, but I'm saying
that's on board too.
I'm saying is that when Sam Darnold came into the Vikings, JJ McCarthy was supposed to be the starter. He got injured against us in the preseason. Sam Darnold ended up taking over. They went 14-3, and Minnesota said, "Nah, we're gonna go with our rookie." Now, I'm not trying to put that bad juju on what we're gonna do this offseason, this upcoming draft, but you already have a guy kind of built the same way, big quarterback, has an arm, is mobile enough to keep the play going, and not necessarily a guy that's going to use his legs as his weapon first, like a lot of young quarterbacks. Yeah. So, and I need to see more tape on Fernando Mendoza, but they could be similar quarterbacks. Hey, Savage. Belty agrees with me. Every time you show the championship belt on your show, Jeff, I feel like it's one of those hostage videos where it's just like, I don't want to be here, but I have to. But no. Anyways. I'm going to get that belt back, Jeff. Okay? I don't care.
No,
I don't care
I'm winning the next belt, God damn it.
I can't wait. I can't wait. That belt's going to drop. I'm right there to take it, Jeff. Oh, yeah. I gave him a name. Belty.
Belty.
Belchy. Belchy.
So original. Belty and Jeffy.
Kirk Cousins, if the price is right. But
well, again, we do with Pickens going, we need to get that third guy in there, right? I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, why not have guys that are similar who's going to be able, to help each other? You got a guy who is a scrambler first. He can't help a pocket passer. He can a little bit, but his first instinct is, I didn't see it, so I ran. If you get Cousins, whichever way it goes, he's supposed to be similar to Mendoza. O'Connell is similar to Mendoza. And then you got Mendoza. So now you got three guys who are all the similar. So if somebody goes down and somebody's got to come in, now it's all up to what's up here.
Yeah.
Not the physical attributes.
The athletic,
it's a different kind of offense.
Jeff said rooster ring. I know what that means, Kay. Because roosters in the morning say cock-a-doodle-doo. I would disinfect it. I don't.
He wishes.
Okay. Running backs, Asylum. Running backs now. Demon King had told me through text when I was telling him about the show we were going to do that he's all like, I don't know. I think Kenneth, not Walker, not the MVP of the Super Bowl this past few, last couple, whatever it was, but Kenneth Gainwell could be the running back that the Raiders target. And I seen him in a couple games this past season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I did like him. I was trying to find him on fantasy, Jeff, but I couldn't get him. But he made a couple key plays in a lot of those games that last season. So I wouldn't mind Hall got tagged. Yeah, well, I know. I didn't put it up there, but Breece Hall got tagged. I didn't get a chance to update these, but Jeff, Breece Hall's right there. He got tagged. Don't let that belt get to your head, Jeff, okay?
It's already there. His comment is more like a headband than it is a rooster ring.
More like a headband than it is a headband. So Breece Hall is tagged, but that doesn't mean he's not untouchable. It's just going to cost a little more. But you know what, Asylum? I like Travis Etienne.
I like Etienne as well if we could get it. But I kind of have a feeling that, the other Kenneth on the list, there could be a chance just because of the familiarity
Walker
with the coach. And there's always that tie, right? I mean, it's always going to happen. But okay. I would take Travis before everybody on here. He'd be my first choice to pair up
Travis.
To pair up with Ashton Genty. I think that could be a good combo right there.
And Kubiak had said during the meetings last week that he wants to use a fullback. He's going to bring back the fullback, which we all love as Raider fans. We all love the fullback position. My generation was John Ritchie, back in the day. You had Van Egan. Van Egan was a fullback. What's a running back? They were all tough. They were all tough runners. But yeah, fullback position we love, and we need to bring it back. So yes, Javonte Williams, he was a good running back. He might cost a lot. But I want Travis Etienne because he was an explosive running back, or he is an explosive running back for the Jaguars, and bring that to the Raiders, him and Genty. That because Genty could be the lightning and the thunder, and Travis Etienne could be the thunder. No, the lightning. No, Genty could be the thunder and also the lightning, and then Travis Etienne could be the lightning, but also the thunder. But most likely the lightning. So You know what I'm trying to
Algier would be interesting, but to be honest with you, he's been too up and down. I like Travis. Travis, I think, would be a steal off of this class to pair up with Genty.
What about Najee Harris? No. Nah. He had a chance last year. Okay, we got receivers. Now this is where we need to look at because we do need some more receivers on our team. Rashid Shaheed has been off the tide. Pickens is tagged. Alec Pierce was one of the guys that was on Demon King's list, and I like Alec Pierce. He beat us in that game where we were trying to get to the playoffs under AP in the interim year. He got that long pass against us, and we couldn't rebuttal that and end up losing the game. And that knocked us out of the playoffs. But I like Alec Pierce. Rashid Shaheed has been tied to the Raiders because, of course, he was on. Well, he was on. Of course, he got traded to the Seahawks last year from the Saints, but he was also on the Saints when Kubiak was the offensive coordinator, which means he was part of the one that advocated to make that trade to bring him in. He was, he did have that touchdown in the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. That was fun. When he ran it back that first play of the game for a touchdown. But depending on the price, I like what Jeff said. Dobbs.
I like
Dobbs.
Evans, but you're only going to get a couple years.
Alec Pierce and Dobbs. I want to see someone with the big Raider, what they call it, the angel cap. I want a big Raider pad helmet because no one on the team, I haven't seen that yet. I
think there was a couple
in the preseason. But I want to see a receiver that you remember in the game Blitz 2000 or Blitz 2000 when you put the code in and they got the big head players. That's what he reminds me of. Put that with a Raider helmet. Yes, and I agree. Bring back the fullback, and he will. Who will that be? I think they're going to draft somebody. But number one, Alec Pierce. Number two, Romeo Dobbs. At least my sister Alicia, if I said Deebo Samuel, she'd be like, no, because he ruined her fantasy team. Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, he did well. He did well with everything that was going on with the Giants last year, and he had to take over for when I forgot who it was that had that injury on the sideline. The receiver where his leg got tied up and was coming down, and he had like an Achilles sprain, whatever. But my two would be Pierce and Dobbs. You said Dobbs, and I know you said you believe Rashid Shaheed will probably, because of the familiarity with Kubiak in general, not just because of the Seahawks, but with Kubiak in general, going all the way back to the Saints. But you like Dobbs? Kirk photo looks like he don't know where he is at the moment. When a cross-eyed receiver, there was two balls out there, coach. They were like, hey, if he ever gets concussion, it can never tell. Hey, his eyes would look like his eyes were like that before the hit. Okay, well, I guess put him back out there. Alex says Evans or Pierce, and I know what you mean by Evans, because injuries, and didn't he flirt with retirement? I thought I read about that
last year.
Yeah, so with him it depends on the price, but if you're gonna go all out,
and not Pierce, to mention he's going to command a heavy price.
Yeah, that's what I said. If the price ain't right, I'm sorry, no. All right, you got your tight ends. Okay, Jeff. Kyle Pitts is tagged. But
the only one we need who should be up on this list and isn't is ours. Bring him back.
You don't want Darren Waller back?
And Kyle Pitts was tagged, by the way.
Look at Kay. If you can keep Maxx Crosby and then you bring back Darren Waller, that album cover, that rap album party is going to be lit. Okay. Waller and Crosby, you know, they do a collaboration, rapping together. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to go down. Greatest rap album in history. Okay. It's going to go down. And if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, there'll be the halftime show. Okay. Anyways, to all of him and Max going to make Turf Toe 2 raps. Turf Toe 2 rap. So we don't need tight ends. All right, now this is where we're getting into Waller raps better than Max though. They both use autotone though. Which you're a rapper, you don't need autotone. Auto-tune. Almost an AutoZone. They all both use AutoZone. Now, Asylum, this is where we need to really look at things because we need to get this offensive line going no matter who we draft back there or sign back there or play back there as quarterback. If your front line ain't doing it like it hasn't done in the last 2 years, for sure, it ain't going to mean nothing. So, out of this list of offensive tackles, you know, we do have
Illuminor back.
Illuminor. I wasn't a big Illuminor fan. And look at Trent Brown, too. If you like Twinkies, he's your guy.
But you know what? Trent Brown is a fucking beast, though.
You want to bring him? Hey, Trent, Gruden's not here no more. You can come back. You just better not try to get traded back to the Patriots, okay? I swear to God. Swear to God. No to Williams. He looks too much like Gallery, and that gives me nightmares. Hey, Gallery played decent when he switched over to left guard, trying to look like he wore the 76, trying to look like why am I forgetting his name? Come on. He was going for the Hall of Fame this past year. He didn't get in. Oh, why am I forgetting his name? Oh my God. He was our left guard for a long time, and then he retired before they went to the Super Bowl. Come on, help me. 76. LA Raiders came to Oakland. Come on, man. Pissy pants. Because he peed on himself in a game. I'm forgetting it. And if someone knows it and they say, I'm like, I knew it. Come on, 76. Played for the LA Raiders, and then he came to Oakland, and then he retired a year before he went to the Super Bowl. He got replaced by Frank Middleton. Why am I forgetting? Wisniewski. I said it before anybody else said it. Wisniewski. Tackles. Okay, we might need to look at right tackle and maybe even left tackle because our left tackle has been injured a lot. I'm forgetting names again right now. The no mention is kicking in. Who's our left tackle again? His name is Colton Miller. Colton Miller. I need you to focus, Kay. You're not thinking for me, okay? I don't like that. Colton Miller, Steve Wisniewski. Took you a while, Jeff. Okay, you probably got the belt around. Can't see what we're doing over
probably
here.
Squeezing so tight, he's got no blood flowing.
Out of these guys, Asylum. I mean, if Trent Brown,
out of these guys, I'd probably say Braden Smith. I mean, you know, the Colts had a good offensive line.
Yeah,
you know
that was also one of Demon King's picks was Braden Smith. Braden Smith. Yeah, Braden. Not Jaden Smith. Okay, Braden Smith. Not the weirdo. All right, well, interior lineman, though. Everyone is eyeing in on the man first in line right there, Tyler Linderbaum. Everyone is saying, Alex is saying it right here, Tyler Linderbaum for center. fits Kubiak's scheme. Now, the scheme that Kubiak is going to run is a scheme that a lot of us are not big fans of. It is the zone blocking scheme because the Raiders have never been able, in the history, the Raiders had never been able to master that scheme because the offensive lineman that we had before a coach comes in with that scheme, the linemen that we had the year before were meant for down blocking, man blocking, we're going to open holes in front. And then they're trying to transition those guys into, because you need more athletic offensive linemen. And they try to transition those big guys who are down blocking offensive linemen to zone blocking offensive linemen where they got to go more lateral.
So if you go with Linderbaum at center, are we putting JPJ on the left?
We're gonna because Parham ain't gonna be here. He better not come back. I would put JPJ back on the left side, because he's gonna do some dirty stuff to make sure that his quarterback is not going to get blindsided from the inside, like Parham was allowing to happen. With Geno Smith getting hit. I'm not going to make that as an excuse, Geno Smith, because there was a lot of times you saw ghost and you throw it to the wrong team. But yeah, Tyler Linderbaum, put that front and center. He is your main guy that you want to go. Would you break the bank for him though? This is building your offensive line, kind of like
the offensive line, yes.
When you got the
I would honestly go for Tyler and Kevin Zeltzer, the Tennessee guy.
Zeltler.
Yeah.
You could bring back. Didn't John Simpson play for the Raiders?
Maybe. That name does sound familiar.
I don't know what the no. I think it might be the wrong Simpson. I know we had an offensive line. I thought he went to the Bills though. Unless that's another, I don't know. Tyler Linderbaum for sure. And I know we do have young talent on this team. That's what I kept saying last year when it came to Pete Carroll not playing the rookies, that we don't know what we have. Because guys like Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant showed flashes in the limited time that they were finally able to get in there. And Kubiak had said that and this is the same thing that was said last year, going into last season, that he does like the offensive line. They just weren't coached well or put in the right scheme. Kubiak said that he does like the lineman that he does have. Kappa is still under contract. Also, just throwing that out there.
That's scary.
So I hope they have a new they have a new
offensive line coach who probably will fucking teach his offensive linemen how to block.
Yeah, and they don't have to go and do their own meetings. Okay, how do we? That was so bad last year. We needed that reset, Kay, because we're gonna do some great things. Okay. So let's go into we did that already. Let's go on the defensive side, Asylum. First of all, we need to also address the interior lineman because defensive lineman, because we got to get some pressure. With Rob Leonard being the new DC, his expertise the last couple of years with the Raiders was a defensive line. So he's gonna want guys, athletic guys who can also push, get into the backfield. And probably use some exotic schemes, the defensive end and the tackle, do the cross rush, all that, whatever. So one of the guys that Demon King had on here on his list was the first guy on here, John Franklin Myers, coming over from Denver to the Raiders. If it's a division foe, I would take it, because if he's leaving a team that we have in a division, that's one thing. But if he's coming to the Raiders, that's a plus. So I would take him. Danico Autry, older guy. Yeah. Bring him back?
No, probably not. If you're going to go for an older guy like that, why don't you just go for Calais Campbell? No, I'm being serious. I mean, look at his age and look at what he did. 23 solo tackles, 43 TOTs.
Yeah.
6.5 sacks. But I mean, honestly, if we can't get who Demon King suggested, kind of looking at Sheldon Rankins.
We just got to spend money.
You want a big guy in that DT spot.
Yeah, because we had to replace. We had to replace the guy.
What are we changing to under Rob Leonard?
We're going to a 3-4. We need a nose guard, a nose tackle.
We need a nose tackle, and that motherfucker needs to be big. He needs to fill holes.
He needs to be mean, nasty. He needs to want to kill somebody. Raiders for life. Yeah. And you know what?
A little bit of experience. I know Sheldon Rankins is kind of on the wrong side of 30, but I bet you could still get 3 or 4 good years out of him.
I mean, when the Raiders, and I know I'm going back to my 3 years, my glory years with the Raiders, when they were winning for that small little window. They brought in, remember Sam Adams coming from Seattle, and they brought him in, and they also took John Perella, put him in the middle, and I know that was more of an even front, but no, was that a 5? Was that a 5 front? Was that a 3? No, that was but Sam Adams was primarily that inside A gap, just about that nose guard. And when he came in there, he complimented John Perella, and they were killing folks. They were killing folks that year. So yeah, you get a big guy, a big nose tackle, who commands double and triple teams in the middle that can open up for linebacker blitzes.
And what's his main job?
To disrupt the middle.
Stop the run.
Stop the run. Disrupt the middle. Just a guy that's going to command a lot of attention. And like I said, that opens up blitzing holes for linebackers, up the middle. Fastest lane to the quarterback is up the middle.
Straight line.
We saw that last year, Geno Smith.
Saw it a
lot. Now, okay, Trey Hendrickson was not given the tag. Okay. So he can do and talk to whoever he wants now. But I know he's going to command a lot of money. He's going to be now.
Really, that money probably should go to the offensive line.
Yeah. But if you're going to lose, and I'm just hypothetical. I like to speak hypothetically, pathetically, hyper. If we're gonna be living in a world most likely without a Maxx Crosby wearing a Raider uniform, do you replace him with a Trey Hendrickson?
I mean, you try to, but it depends on what he's going to command and everything like that. For me, I'd like to bring back Clavion Chason.
There's the guy. That's why I said if we don't get Snowden, then that means we should go run it back with Clavion Chason, unless somehow the Maxx Crosby gets back or gets away to go to the Patriots. And I'm pretty sure they're going to try to advocate to keep in there. The Raider defense on the East Coast, Jeff's territory. Yeah, I said it, Jeff. But I do want Clavion Chason. And what about any of these super veterans like Clowney or even Jordan?
I mean,
Cameron
I used
Jordan.
to like Clowney, but I think I'd rather take Bosa over Clowney.
Yeah.
Brothers
in the division.
That injury problem, but you want Cameron Jordan's also another good one.
Demon King had Male. I
can't tell if that's an L or an F.
Male. What about Khalil Mack closing out his career back?
The only former Raider I want to bring back right now is Chason.
I'm just, giving everyone a fair shot. And Asylum goes, no. As your emotional wellness coordinator, I don't need that in my life right now. Okay.
I mean, I think Hendrickson is a pipe dream, but if you could pull it off, more power to you. That'd be awesome.
That'll be okay. How about this one? If the Raiders don't trade Maxx Crosby, and now it can happen before the draft, but if they don't trade him at the start of free agency, and the Raiders somehow get Trey Hendrickson, does that keep Maxx Crosby in Vegas? If you have two bookend monsters,
if you have somebody to help him, like a Hendrickson, and he knows he has that help, that is definitely something that's enticing with the Rob Leonard to turn around and be like, we got you. That's that. We got you the help. We know you've been doing this by yourself. We got you that help to get to the quarterback. Keep us in these games. Go out there and be gay. I mean, that's one of those things that you might be willing to put up with a year or two of, let's see where this fucking goes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now you got to go into the linebackers because we need to build the linebackers. John Leon says Jordan Phillips and Chason. I'll take it. Sign them both. Let's go. Linebackers. Devin Lloyd is also on the list for Demon King. He also has
Devin Bush,
Quay Walker. He's on there. And Nakobe Dean. So he got all those guys that we got to target.
I hate to say this, but I think I in this particular case, I want to hurt the division. And he wasn't bad. I mean, I unfortunately saw a lot of them. Chanel.
If you can take away from your division and you put him on your team, you get Franklin from the Broncos, and you get Chanel from the Chiefs. And then you get Chubbs from that they're going to get rid of over there in Miami, from a Bronco, bring him over too.
Devin Bush and a Chanel, I mean, that kind of fills out with who you already got on the team. Right? Pair them with Jamal Adams.
And
Trey Hendrickson and Maxx Crosby.
Like that's what I'm saying is that this team with all the free agents, that all the players that can and will be on their way out before the start of this upcoming year, we have a chance to build this team faster. We have to spend the money though, but we have a chance to build this team faster than trying to filter out, okay, who are guys that fit my system now and who are guys that I got to replace next year. We don't have that year of trying to merge last year's regime's players with what the new regime wants. We are stripped down to the core, and we can add key veterans, young veterans in that this regime likes and feels they can build off of. So we have an opportunity. I know we're rebuilding, but we can build it faster. And then have them integrate quicker because they'll be coming in with a, like I said, stripped down team already. They're already stripped down. So I'm telling you, we don't like 2025 and how it all went, but maybe that was the NFL gods, the football gods. I don't like the NFL gods, the football gods saying, this is for you to have a hard reset. And with that reset, you'll have players that can come in. If they believe in the system and they believe in Kubiak, they'll come in and then you'll build this faster. And especially with the Chiefs declining our window, I feel like there's a draft, Asylum. I feel like the window's opening. There's a draft. Not the draft coming up because we know whatever, but you know what I mean. The wind draft. Cornerbacks, Asylum. Cornerbacks. We do need cornerbacks. We have our own right there, Eric Stokes. We all said that we want to bring him back.
Automatic. That's automatic. Don't even fucking say it twice. Bring back Eric Stokes.
Is there anybody else? How about right from the Bears. If you're gonna take our player with Maxx Crosby, give me your cornerback. I'm not saying trade on trade because he's a free agent, but I'm just saying I'll take him. I think he made some key plays last year.
Right? Yeah. I mean, he could be somebody who, young enough to still be able to give a few years. I mean, that 5 interceptions always looks good, right? I mean,
11 pass defenses, 5 interceptions.
Could cover the fucking field. I mean, covers the field, 54 solo tackles.
Yeah. That'll be
80 solo tackles. So I mean, he's apparently around.
Get him with Eric Stokes on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
At this aggressive defense. What about Jalen Watson? They already got rid of one of their star corners by trade. The Chiefs did.
Yeah, which leads me to believe he's going to re-sign with the team.
They're going to prioritize him to bring him back.
They're going to prioritize him and make sure they get him back.
So, anybody from the Seattle defense right here? Josh Jobe or Rick Woolen?
No, we got some youngsters on the team that probably needs to, get a chance. I think a good, like you said, Wright and Stokes.
Yeah.
Let the younger safeties go because we still have Paul Amal, don't we?
Yes, we do.
And who was the other safety?
Years. The other safety was I'm going back to 2 years ago. That's not who was the other safety? I don't know. Last year was so bad. I can't think of it. I can't think right now. I can't think of who the other safety was. Probably wasn't that good. Okay. Here we go. Safety. Speaking of safeties, Kevin Boyard.
I think this way you can save some money and keep the safeties we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Cook from
the stands out.
Blankenship. He got the Blankenship. He had the interception for a touchdown against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah, I stick with the guys we got. See, John Leon agrees with me on this one, even though I know he's going back to even the cornerbacks. But I still think we need to re-sign Eric Stokes, even if you go with John Leon's, statement here. You have to have Stokes back on the team.
He also said D-line and linebackers in free agency, and we still got Darian Porter, who, I guess you can say he's a project, but he was showing flashes, and I just think that because I had a lot of criticism against Palomar last year, but when you start hearing the stories that were coming out,
the year before that with Palomar.
Yeah, I know. What I was saying is all the stories that were coming out from this past season, it wasn't even the defense that Patrick Graham was trying to run. Pete Carroll was trying to integrate his cover 3 with Patrick Graham's aggressive defense, and it just wasn't meshing right. So you have a lot of players running around trying to, probably overthinking. And when you overthink, you lock yourself up because you're trying to, instead of just playing fluently, you're trying to not mess up and try to understand the scheme. And then there you go, let someone go past you. So, let the young safeties do their thing. And then of course, because we have Rob Leonard, he'll be somebody that will know he already knows their strengths and weaknesses. And also, and I'm going to bring up the last thing we're going to talk about real quick is the coaching staff. He also brought back Joe Woods, who was, DB coach. So these, him with Rob Leonard working together, they know these guys, so they'll be able to figure out to get them into positions for them to succeed and not to try to, fit guys in old systems that don't work anymore. So real quick, Asylum, and then we'll finish it off. So the official coaching staff came out last week. One of the key things you don't see on there is a quarterback coach. Rob Leonard gets promoted to defensive coordinator. They brought back Travis Smith, who was early in Maxx Crosby's career as the defensive line coach. They also retained Joe Woods. On the offensive side, they were able to keep the tight ends coach, Luke Steckel. And then also an important one, Rick Dennison comes in as offensive line coach. Andrew Janoko comes in, offensive coordinator, who followed Kubiak from the New Orleans Saints to Seattle, almost like Gruden and Callahan from Philadelphia to the Raiders. So back in the day, looking at this asylum, what do you think so far of our coaching staff, the finalized list of our coaching staff?
Well, I mean, I love the idea of Rob Leonard being defensive coordinator. I think that adds stability on the defense is yet a reason you might be able to keep Crosby. But I think the biggest focus is going to be, the run game coordinator, the running backs coach, offensive coordinator, because we know who's calling the plays, and it ain't going to be Andrew.
No.
Janoko, it's not going to be him. But it's probably going to be him to sit there and be able to help implement the Kubiak system to the offense. And I think that is a great pairing there because I know Janoko was, what was he? The quarterback's coach, wasn't he?
He was a quarterback's coach with Seattle while Clint Kubiak was the offensive coordinator.
So,
yes.
I mean, who better to know the offense that Kubiak's going to run than the quarterback's coach? Because quarterback is, right, the key guy on offense. I think that pairing is the key pairing, but I also do like that pairing because of the familiarity.
Yeah.
They say there's no quarterback's coach, that there are at least 3 coaches on the team that have had the title before.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to, I think everybody's going to have their hand in with the quarterback to an extent.
What about Mike McCoy as your assistant head coach? Now, he didn't do all that great overall with the Chargers, but you have a guy who has a lot of experience in the NFL. He's had the head coaching experience. How about him being that guy to help along with the head coaching duties for the first time for Clint Kubiak coming in his first year with the Raiders?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming down. It comes down to Clint Kubiak. Can he handle everything going from offensive coordinator to, being in charge of everything? Again, the Janoko that knows his system very well can help, on that aspect while he's, sitting there trying to do all that other shit. Even though we know the play calling is going to be coming from Clint Kubiak.
Yeah.
I feel like Kubiak will let Rob Leonard do his thing and the defense, work together and go and do their thing. The offensive line coach, Rick Dennison, he's going to have a lot. If they turn around and made the comment of, I like the offensive line we have, they just weren't coached well, that puts a lot of pressure on Rick.
Well, I think he
Rick quickly changes the dick when things don't go well.
Dick Dennison. That sounds like a movie. That sounds like an actor for a type of movie that unless you're 18 and older, you can't watch. He got a lot of experience. Goes all the way back to Kubiak's father with the Broncos. So he is familiar with the Kubiaks as a family. So I mean, everything looks promising, and I know we said this last year. You know, everything looks promising. Yeah, you can tell you one thing: there won't be any
Hold on.
nepotism.
We were not necessarily, not everybody here was necessarily happy with that head coaching hire.
I know. I was telling this to Peggy last week. I was like, I was trying to put the pieces together and make it seem why it makes sense. Maybe I was all like, well, because Pete Carroll was older. You got adults in the room, and then you have Brendan Carroll, who worked under Cable, who we all know. Cable, you know, Tom Cable. Yeah, he knew how to make different combinations work. If there was injuries, he knew how to move guys around to make them work the following week. So I was hoping that Brendan Carroll had that same type of philosophy working under him the previous years in Seattle, and it didn't work out. I'm not going to sit here anymore and trying to make excuses before they fail for the Raiders, but like I did last year, but everything looks promising. That's how far as I'll give you until we see it on the field or until we see what guys they bring in.
We'll find out once free agency starts and where they start trying to go and fix things.
Yes, which will be next week. So we're going to see what the Raiders do. Oh, yeah. Are you ready, Asylum? I'm ready. Oh.
That's going to be making for some busy days for the cage match.
Yes. Yeah. Well, until then, that is our show for now. We appreciate everyone watching. And we have some good numbers today. If you are new to the show, which I don't think I've seen any new people.
I don't remember seeing any new.
But if you are
any
new
names, but you never know. If you're new, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell.
Yes.
That way you know every time we come on.
Yes.
You never know when we're going to come on. It could be breaking news. Bam, we're on. It might even be Asylum Burgundy. You never know. It's about this time of year, he starts coming back to work.
He's been getting phone calls. He's like, I'm on vacation. But I don't care what you guys.
Vacation's over.
But we want to thank everybody. If you are new, make sure, like Asylum said, like, share, and subscribe. And next week is going to be busy because we're going to see what the Raiders are going to do when it comes to signing free agents, how much money they're going to spend. They have a lot of money. They have the second most money. So come on, man. Last year you had the second most money last year behind the Patriots. The Patriots spent a lot of money on our own players, and they got all the way to the Super Bowl. They didn't do anything. You know, they didn't take the trophy home, but they got there. And for us Raiders, just give me a playoff win. We're not expecting much really this much this year. We all understand it's a rebuilding year. So this is one of those, we just want to see growth. We want to see them get better.
The growth.
Yes. Not what Jeff is trying to think with his belt. No. But just show that we are ready to build and take over the AFC West in 2020.
Be a grower, not a shower.
Yes. All right, that's our show. Thank you very much for watching, and welcome back, Asylum. Game. Show number 1 on your new streak. Number 1.
my Geno Smith moment.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week and talk about everything because it's going to be a big week next week. Take care, Raider Nation, and see you soon. Good night.
Good night.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight again. I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.